First and foremost, before we get started, I like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai by Hashem, Rekakadash, and double on those great millstone, while learned his truth. And also to those elect that is scattered abroad. I like to say, Shalom. Come back here today with another great, powerful lesson to the spirit and the power of Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. So the title of today's lesson is World War III Updates. So I like to say, Shalom. Chol, I listen, learn. Hope this will help you today and guide you back in the path of righteousness and back to your true power, which in fact is Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. So before we start today's lesson, I have a quick news article here by BBC. And it says, Pakistan launches retaliatory strikes into Iran, killing 9 people. Let's get a little bit more. It said Pakistan has launched missile strikes into Iran, killing 9 people after Iran carried out strikes in Pakistan late on Tuesday. So we seeing that things are constantly intensifying over there in the Red Sea area, over in the so-called Middle East. We seeing that this war is constantly getting larger. It's constantly getting broader and broader. You know, the wars of all wars, which in fact is World War III, the last and final war, right before the great and glorious return of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. So when we're seeing that the Lord is gathering the nation, we're seeing that nations are rising against nations. We're seeing that Iran and Pakistan are neighboring countries. So we're seeing that Iran had launched a drone attack in Pakistan. You know, so now they are retaliating. Now they are bombing certain areas of Iran. So I have a video to bring it out a little bit more. So we won't read too much more of the this news article because I have videos to bring out more edification, Salaki. So one thing about it is, though, we seeing that these things are constantly on the uprise. We seeing, you know, a lot of people are bucking up against another. We seeing what's going on with North Korea and South Korea. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, they constantly doing these nuclear tests. You know, people are these nations are constantly preparing for war all around the world. And why is all these things are happening? Because the Lord is causing these things to happen. Because we read upon judgment. You know what I'm saying? The Lord's getting ready to bring forth that indignation. These missiles are getting ready to fly. You know, hey man, their sword, the sword in their destruction, draws nigh, it's very near is at the door. So the Lord's getting ready, man, get ready to do a mighty work. So we seeing that what's going on with Pakistan, you know what I'm saying, and Iran, they were once allies. So we seeing that a lot of people are breaking their alliance. We seeing that the heathens are raging, the nations, they are raging left and right. They're fighting for position to be the next superpower. Also, you still in the news that China is going to invade Taiwan once again. You know, and one thing about it, you know, it's rumors upon rumors. You know, we seeing these things are constantly picking up, and also it's rumors or reports that Russia is going to attack NATO. You know, say, hey man, so that these things are picking up left and right. So we seeing all these different alliances are constantly breaking down. Also, we know that they shall burn the whore. We already know that Russia, China, in collaboration with NATO, is going to burn the whole, which in fact is Babylon the Great, America. So all these things are coming down the pipeline left and right. So we already knowing that what's going on the southern border, you know, things are picking up right here in our own backyard. You know, civil war is imminent. So it's right around the corner also. So a lot of things are constantly picking up left and right. We seeing these things it's on it's on the upright. And also we already know about the Israel and the Hamas war, you know, against these Palestinians, or ever since October the 7th, you know, it's been rumors of wars. You know, it's at one crisis behind another crisis, one calamity behind another calamity. So we seeing these things are constantly increasing. We seeing that, hey man, these nations are constantly, it just prevailing. We seeing that, you know, a lot of things are constantly happening at a fast pace. That's why we got to always be locked in. We got to be focused. We cannot be sleeping during this time right now, because these prophecies are speaking loud and clear, man. We seeing that Red Sea conflict right over there in the so-called Middle East. Hey, but one thing about that, we seeing that all these things have already been prophesied. You know, hey man, things are jumping all left and right. You know, the war, the U.S. in Yemen. You know what I'm saying? Hey man, the Lord said He shall remove them far from their borders. We seeing that happen left and right. They constantly deploying U.S. soldiers to go over there into the Middle East. So we seeing that the Red Sea conflict is constantly picking up, man. Hey, man, this thing is getting ready to spill over, man. It's getting ready to be all hell getting ready to break loose. So we seeing these things are constantly picking up. So we seeing that, hey, man, war, rumors upon wars are all over the place. And one thing about it, hey, things could go nuclear at any given time. And one thing about it, we got to be watching. We got to stay locked in and focused. Wisdom and knowledge should be the stability of the time. And one thing about it, hey, man, the Lord is getting ready to bring it. Judgment is at the door. One thing about it, the Lord is getting ready, hey, to bring that sword. The Lord said, I come not to bring peace, but a sword. That is going into what? Judgment. Hey, man, the Lord is getting ready to show up and show out with what? With great glory and great power. So the title of the daily lesson, once again, is World War III update. Before we start the daily lesson, I have one quick precept, then we'll start the video. One moment, let's go here to the book of Jeremiah, chapter 51 and verse 46. And it reads, it said, and unless your heart faint, and ye fear for the rumor that shall be heard in the land, a rumor shall both come 1 year, and after that in another year shall come a rumor, and violence in the land, and rulers against rulers. So that's what we're seeing right now. We're seeing that Iran and Pakistan was at peace with one another. Now, all of a sudden, now they're breaking their alliance. We seeing that, hey, man, we seeing that these rulers against rulers, nations are rising against nations. We seeing it happening left and right, rumors upon rumors. Every day we seeing something is happening, you know what I'm saying, around the world. You know what I'm saying? Things are picking up. The Lord is what? Accelerating time. So we seeing that we're here, you know, so a lot of people will be faint-hearted. A lot of people going to be what? Have great despair and sorrow. We at the beginning of sorrow. Also, we're in that transition of power. So it's taking place. The birth pain, they're constantly picking up left and right and out of the body. And we knowing that the kingdom of heaven is fast approaching. And one thing about it, man, we are rejoiced. We are ready to get out of this nightmare, man. One thing about it, this is not your rest. While the 2/3 are sleeping, still are not paying no type of attention, the devil is constantly getting busy. Hey, man, we seeing this happening left and right, man. Let's read this once again. Jeremiah chapter 51 and verse 46 said, unless your heart faint or your mind, and ye fear for the rumor that shall be heard in the land, a rumor shall both come 1 year, and after that in another year shall come a rumor, and violence in the land, rulers against rulers. So we seeing that what? Increase in violence. You know what I'm saying? The love of many is waxing colder and colder. We seeing that these nations are hating one another. We seeing that the heathens are raging. They're imagining a vain thing, or something that is not profitable, or no value. You know, constantly thinking that they're going to be the next superpower. But the next superpower, what is coming, is the kingdom of heaven that dwells in righteousness, and we cannot wait. The Lord is getting ready to set these things back into order. That's why he's gathering the nation for the controversy of Zion. You know, Ezekiel chapter 30, also Ezekiel chapter 39 is getting ready to come into play too. The Lord's going to destroy all these armies. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, they come up against what? Israel. Hey, man, the Lord is getting ready to do a mighty work. So now, I have a few videos, and after videos, we'll start the lesson, and I hope that you will get edified.
Oh, boy, the news that's coming out today. People call me the fearmonger, right? Because we have, channels out there that's like, oh, these guys are fearmongers. Guys, World War III ain't coming. Now we got Iran, Pakistan, Iraq, and Syria. Both of the countries, Iran and Pakistan, on high alert. We have Germany and the Dutch putting out statements day by day from each other saying that Russia is going to attack NATO in 2024, February 2024 at the earliest, or at the latest, winter of 2025. We have the United States showing Pakistan support for the Iranian attack, but China also as well, as alliances are breaking everywhere. We don't even got to talk about North Korea and South Korea, because that's already been crazy. North Korea just did their first hypersonic test. The United States, Japan, and South Korea are holding drills near North Korea at the moment, which is a show forcing North Korea to pretty much calm down, or this is what you're going to have to face. We have Argentina switching sides. We have Ecuador in chaos. We have Sudan still going at it. We have Azerbaijan and Armenia kind of calming down, but, with everything being chaotic across the world, countries are exploring their options to cause chaos. This is going to lead to the breaking of alliances, just like I warned 2 years ago. The alliances were going to start breaking apart. Everybody's breaking apart over the Israel and Gaza situation. Some countries are breaking apart over the Ukraine and Russia situation. But the crazy part is, no one's really wrong. The world's collapsing, there is chaos everywhere, and countries are, reevaluating a global reset or new world order, if you want to call it that. For that, we need a shift in power, aka World War III. It's been here, my friends. We were just in the beginning stages. Now it's starting to show itself. Anyways, I got a live coming next. See you guys there.
Why are Pakistan and Iran launching missiles at each other? Normally, the two countries have quite friendly relationships, but that's changed quite dramatically in the course of just a few days. So on Tuesday, Iran launched a missile and drone attack into Baluchistan, which is in southwestern Pakistan. And they said that they were attacking a group called Jaish al-Adil. They are designated a terrorist group by both Iran and by the US. So Iran says this is about its national security. That's why it carried out the attack. But of course, Pakistan says this happened inside our territory. They have accused Iran of breaking international law, and they strongly condemned it. Initially, Pakistan's reaction was they decided to bring back their ambassador to Iran, back to Pakistan, and they told the Iranian ambassador, who was currently out of the country, to Pakistan not to come back to Pakistan. So now Pakistan has launched an attack inside Iranian territory on what it designates to be a terrorist organization. The language Pakistan used in its statement is very similar to the language that Iran used in their statement as well. So does this mean that there's a line drawn, both sides feel like everything's fairly equal? We don't know how Iran is going to react to this.
Just days after Iran launched attacks on what it called militant groups in nearby Pakistan, Syria, and Iraq. This morning, Pakistan responded, launching missiles on Iran's southeast border region. It says also targeting terrorist hideouts. Among the dead, 3 women and 4 children, according to local media. This as violence in the Middle East spills from one crisis into the next, following the Hamas massacre of Israeli civilians on October 7th and Israel's war on Hamas in Gaza. The U.S. military says it destroyed 14 missile positions in Yemen overnight, calling them an imminent threat that could have been fired at any time. Belonging to the Iran-backed Houthis, seen here parading their weapons in the capital Sana'a. For months, the armed militants have been attacking merchant ships and the U.S. military there to protect them in what they claim is opposition to the war in Gaza, flouting repeated warnings.
These attacks are a clear example of terrorism, violation of international law, and a major threat to innocent lives and to global commerce.
Yesterday, the U.S. designated them a terrorist group, but they remain defiant. The Yemeni armed forces will not hesitate to target all threats in the Arab Sea and Red Sea, said a military spokesman, and to continue supporting the oppressed Palestinian people.
So we seeing that, hey, World War III is here. You can't see in all this time. You're still sleeping and you will be totally destroyed. So we seeing. So we start today's lesson in 2 Ezra chapter 9. We'll start there. 2 Ezra chapter 9. So we seeing that, hey, man, one crisis behind another crisis. One event behind another. It's constantly picking up. We seeing that the war is constantly getting broader and broader. You know what I'm saying? So this gonna be war all around the world. Simultaneously. And one thing about it, we seeing that the Lord is moving the chess pieces around. The Lord is gathering the nation. We seeing that we're here. The Lord is doing a mighty work. The Lord is coming. The Lord is coming. So rejoice ye heaven. So now let's start up in 2 Ezra chapter 9. We'll start up at verse 1. And it reads, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself. And when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before. So that's what we're doing. We're measuring the time diligently, through the scriptures, through this word, through the gospel. We're seeing that these things are lining up. At the end, it shall speak and not lie. Hey, man, it's not tearing anymore. We're seeing that these things are falling right in place. We're seeing that we're living in the end time, real time. We're seeing it happening right before our all of the signs of the times are here. The prophets in the highways in the Bible constantly warning you of war, pestilence, and of an evil time. What is that evil time? Jacob's troubles. That's why we're measuring the time diligently. We knowing that it's going to happen because it's already been prophesied. The Lord's word would not return to him void. Verse 2, it said, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Amen. Shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the Lord has not done it? Shall evil be done in the city, and the Lord has not done it? The Lord is causing all these events to happen because we read upon what? Recompense and judgment. Hey, man, the Lord is doing it, man. Verse 3. It said, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shall thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. So one thing about it, we know that the Lord, what is visiting the earth that he created, we seeing all sorts of uprising. You know what I'm saying? We seeing what? Civil unrest, sedition among men. We seeing, increased violence. Love of men is waxing cold. We seeing that the World War III has begun, and it's constantly what? Increasing. You know what I'm saying? We seeing that things is constantly what? Are growing. Evils are growing all around us. And one thing about it, we seeing that the vibration of the earth is changing. You know what I'm saying? It's being manifest. It's more obvious and clear that we're here. So now let's start back up at verse 5, and it says, for like as all that is made in the world has a beginning and the end is manifest. So let's read that again. 2 Ezra chapter 9 and verse 5 said, for like as all that is made in the world has a beginning and the end is manifest. So we're saying that the end is more obvious, it's more clear. The Lord is constantly what? Is shedding light, exposing, you know what I'm saying? All the lies and deception, all these things are coming out. He's making what? Esau bare, you know what I'm saying? We're seeing that, hey man, we have to the times of the Gentiles are almost fulfilled. You know what I'm saying? The Lord is getting ready to cut them off. And also the Lord's getting ready to cut the 2/3 off. So we knowing that we're in this time, you know what I'm saying? Things are constantly happening left and right. The Lord is accelerating time. We're seeing that, hey man, wartime, the war drums are beating. We have blown the trumpet. You know what I'm saying? We're seeing that we're here, man. Hey man, whether you were here or whether you will forbear, the end is being manifest. And once again, we're living in the end time. Real time is happening. It's rolling out right before our eyes. Hey man, we almost at the end of this thing. We're very excited. So now let's go here to 2 Ezra chapter 15. 2 Ezra chapter 15 and verse 15. 2 Ezra chapter 15 and verse 15. One moment. And it reads, said, for the sword and their destruction draws nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. So that's what we're seeing. What's going on with Iran and Pakistan. Also, we seeing what's happening in our backyard with this southern border crisis, with Governor Greg Abbott. You know what I'm saying? He's going up against the Biden administration. They telling them that, they need to stop blocking the border, let these U.S. Border Patrol do their job, but they saying that they're not going to do it. And also they having other states that are joining in, sending their National Guard soldiers to Texas. So we are watching that. We're measuring the time very diligent there. So we seeing that the sword and their destruction draws nigh. And that sword also go into what? Judgment. You know what I'm saying? Death and destruction. So we seeing that's happening. So one people shall stand up and fight against another. So we seeing that, hey man, civil war is imminent. You know what I'm saying? Hey man, we seeing that was civil unrest, insurrection, sedition of men. These things are coming. We don't want to jump the gun. But hey, in the modern day, what sword is the gun? And what did that guy just said down there in Florida? Those 3 sheriffs said down there they want the citizens to arm themselves up, because you know what? We coming upon Jacob's trouble. But we're not ignorant of Satan's device. They telling you to get armed, but they really telling their people to get armed up, because they already know that, hey man, they getting ready to come down on the children of Israel. Hey, but the enemy is getting ready to come in like a flood. Hey, we constantly warn you left and right. Hey man, we're not ignorant of Satan's device, his agenda, his plan, his plot. We already know what that plot is, the NWO. He want total control. And also we knowing that right around the corner is the C-HIP, this digital society. Hey man, it's at the door. Verse 16 said, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So we seeing that, all these alliances been broken. They not regarding one another anymore. They not regarding the peace treaty that they had together. And also right here in America, we seeing that right in Texas once again. They not regarding the government. The president. They not regarding what the military, the law enforcement. So hey man, these things are right in front of our face. You know what I'm saying? Hey man, if you don't think that, man, we're in the end time. Man, we're so very excited. So, hey, man, let's read this again. Salaki for saying that too many times. Hey, man, I'm going to stop saying that so much. It says 2 Amos chapter 15 and verse 16 said, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their action shall stand in their power. So that's what's happening. You know, we're seeing these things as on the uptick. We're seeing an uprising. All sorts of things are happening. You know what I'm saying? Going to be a lot of rioting, a lot of looting. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be kill or be killed. You know, a lot of things. A lawless time is fast approaching, you know, a time of trouble that we have never seen before. You know what I'm saying? Great tribulation, great persecution and destruction. Jacob's troubles at the door, and also the hour of temptation is fast approaching. Verse 17 says, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, because of what? The lockdowns, the mandates, also the checkpoints. So these things are getting ready to come into play all of a sudden. You know what I'm saying? While you in your thinking that you're a good case, still not considering these things gonna happen right before your eyes. All of a sudden, you know what I'm saying? You can wake up one morning and all hell could be broken loose. And one thing, it's gonna happen very fast. That's why the Lord said, I will come like a thief in the night. Watch, pray, and be sober. Pray without ceasing. You know, be circumspect. Redeem the time wisely. Because, hey, man, every day is something going down. World War III update. So we at the beginning of World War III. The second war has passed. The third will come quickly. Hey, it's at the door. And so we seeing that these things will come to pass. You know, and also we knowing that these FEMA camps, all these things will come into play. That's why we're seeing all these wars are all around the world, because they're trying to bring forth that new world order. They trying to bring it into play. You know what I'm saying? They want total control. Hey, we seeing one world government, one word currency, one word religion. Hey, man, they imagine a vain thing. Verse 18, it said, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled. The houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. They shall be very afraid. Because there's going to be a lot of, killing, stealing, robbing, and, all sorts of things that happen. Looting, people, hey, man, trying to survive. You know what I'm saying? We already know a food shortage, rolling blackouts. A lot of things are coming. We sound like a broken record, but hey, man, it's spot on. We are here, whether you will hear or whether you will forbear. So, hey, man, men shall be afraid. They're going to have a vexation of spirit. He said, my servants shall eat. They shall be hungry. My servants shall drink. They shall be thirsty. Hey, those are the two there, that rebellious house that did not want to return to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. Let's read this again. 2 Amos chapter 15 and verse 18 said, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled. The houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Verse 19, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because the lack of bread and great tribulation. You know what I'm saying? That's Jacob's trouble. The hour of temptation is fast approaching. So, hey, man, it's going to be, no food, no water, no power. You know what I'm saying? People going to be bugged out of their mind. A lot of people have a lot of different illness. They have to have certain medications and different things like that. So a lot of people going to be taken in a great number. So it's going to be a lot of great death, great mourning, persecution, tribulation that we have never seen before. And one thing about it, if the Lord is not dealing with you, you will be totally destroyed. Hey, one thing about it, the Lord said, warn them for me. That's what we're doing each and every day. And one thing about it, we know that famine of the word is fast approach. Hey, man, everything is coming to full fruition. It's coming, hey, man, everything is getting ready to come to an end. We at the end of this thing. Hey, man, we seeing this transition of power is taking place right before our eyes. Let's go here to Joel chapter 2, something I want to get out of here. Joel chapter 2 and verse 20. Joel chapter 2 and verse 20. And it reads, it said, but I will remove far off from you the northern army, which in fact is America, and will drive him into a land barren and desolate, with his face towards the east sea, which in fact is the Persian Gulf, and his hinder part towards the uttermost sea, which in fact is the Red Sea, and his stink shall come up, and his ill savor shall come up because he has done great things. Because what? America has what? Spoiled what? Many nations, and they're getting ready to be spoiled. And one thing about America will be totally destroyed. So we seeing that, they over there in Yemen right now, being a nation police. And one thing about the hammer of the whole earth is getting ready to go down with a blaze of glory, seeing that, all these nations are getting ready to rise up against that whore, which in fact is Babylon the Great, America. And we already seen this is spot on. The Lord, the Northern Army is American, all their militaries, including what? The Army, the Navy, the Air Force, all their armies is going to go over there and get their asses knocked off. That's what's getting ready to happen. And also, and when you go to Ezekiel 39, the Lord's going to do the rest. The Lord's going to be the cleanup man. The Lord's going to clean up all this mess when he returns. The Lord is going to lay everything down, even with the ground. When the Lord show up in the valley of Jehoshaphat, you know what I'm saying? The Lord is going to kill everything in sight. So one thing about it is, anyone that fighting this last and final war, this last conflict right before the great and glorious return of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua, they will be totally destroyed. Hey, whether you were here or whether you will forbear, hey man, it is at the door. So we seeing this happening right before our eye, that Red Sea conflict. It's getting ready to pop out. We already know World War III is at the door. You know what I'm saying? We seeing that the war drums are beating. World War III update every day. You know what I'm saying? These things are constantly picking up. Tensions are rising. And one thing about it, just like a hair trigger, any sudden event, any type of calamity or something that can just set it off. But once it gets set off, it's going to be like a domino effect. And one thing about it, hey man, it ain't going to be no more talk. So now let's go here to our last and final. No, let's go here to Isaiah chapter 39. Let's go here to Isaiah chapter 34, Salakia. Isaiah chapter 34. And we'll start up at the top at verse 1. And it reads, said, come near ye nations, to hear and hearken ye people. Let the earth hear and all that is therein, the world, all therein in the world. So let's start back. Go. Isaiah chapter 34 and verse 1 said, come near ye nations, to hear and hearken ye people. Let the earth hear and all that is therein, the world, and all things that come forth of it. Verse 2 said, for the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies. He has utterly destroyed them. He has delivered them to the slaughter. That's what's getting ready to happen. The Lord is getting ready, hey man, the Lord is getting ready to ascend. And the Lord is getting ready to what? To come down on what? Let's read this, and we don't want to jump the gun. Verse 39 said, their slain also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcass, and the mountains shall be melted with their blood. Then when you go to Ezekiel 39, it tell you that great destruction and also the great and glorious return of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. So when the Lord returns, the Lord's going to bring that concentrated laser and chariot fire. The Lord's getting ready to set fire upon this earth. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, for the controversy of Zion, you know what I'm saying? What was done to us is getting ready to be done to all these heathen nations. The heathens are getting ready to know their place very soon. Verse 4 said, and all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll. This is talking about a nuclear exchange, talking about nuclear explosion, which in fact a mushroom cloud. He said, and all their hosts shall fall down as the leaf falleth off from the vine, and as a falling fig from the fig tree. Verse 5 said, for my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea and upon the people of my curse to judgment. Now, about Idumea is a Greek way of saying Edom, Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, the devil that the Bible speaks of. So the Lord's getting ready to judge the head of the heathen nation, which in fact is what is Amalek. The Lord's getting ready to ascend, you know what I'm saying, with the modern day so-called white men, these fake ass, over there in Israel, you know what I'm saying? The Lord's getting ready to burn their asses out of there. We seeing that, hey man, these things are happening. And also when you get time, read Ezekiel chapter 37. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be a great destruction. It's going to be 7 months of employment, picking up all these dead bodies. You know what I'm saying? The body count is getting ready to be great. The Lord ain't going to be playing around. Verse 6, it said, the sword of the Lord is filled with blood. It is made fat with fatness, and with the blood of lambs and goats, with the fat of the kidneys of the ram, and up for the Lord has a sacrifice in Bajra, and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea. So one thing about it, you know, the body count is going to be great. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, them lambs and the goats, you know, the 2/3. Also, them goats represent what Esau Edom. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, the Lord's going to do a mighty work. And we already know that Basra was a ancient city in Edom, but the modern day Basra is America, Babylon the Great. You know what I'm saying? The headquarters of what Esau Edom. The Lord's getting ready to destroy this place. It's going to be a great slaughter. In 1 hour, thy judgment come. You know, in the land of Idumea, Greek way of saying Edom once again, Esau Edom. You know what I'm saying? The so-called white man, the devil that the Bible speaks of. So let's read this again. Isaiah chapter 34 and verse 6 said, the sword of the Lord is filled with blood. It is made fat with fatness, and with the blood of lambs and goats, with the fat of the kidneys of the rams. For the Lord has a sacrifice in Bajra, and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea. And once again, you know, modern day Basra is America. You know what I'm saying? Idumea is talking about Edom, Esau Edom, the so-called white man, the devil that the Bible speaks of. So, you know, he knowing that his time is very short. We knowing that this red devil is getting ready to come down with great wrath. So we seeing all these things are constantly picking up all around the world. War over here, war over there. You know what I'm saying? Tension over here in America. One thing about it, hey, man, one crisis behind another. So now let's go to our last and final script. Let's go here to the Sirach, Ecclesiasticus, chapter 36. We'll close out here. Sirach, Ecclesiasticus, chapter 36, and we'll start up at verse 7. And it reads, it said, raise up indignation or righteous anger, and pour out wrath, take away the adversary, and destroy the enemy. Verse 8 says, shake the time short, remember the covenant, and let them declare thy wonderful works. Verse 9 said, let him that escapeth be consumed by the rage of the fire, and let them perish that oppress the people. Verse 10 says, smite and sunder the heads of the rulers of the heathen that say there is none other but we, then for a rude awakening. Verse 11 said, gather all the tribes of Jacob together, and inherit thou them as from the beginning. That's talking about the elect, the true believers of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua, starting with the 144,000. And one thing about it, hey man, the Lord is getting ready to come back. The Lord is gathering the nation. Also, we seeing that the Lord is getting ready to bring forth that judgment, the indignation of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. We knowing that war is imminent. We knowing that, you know what I'm saying, it's rumors upon rumors of war. We already knowing that, hey man, all hell is getting ready to break loose. And one thing about it, we got to watch, pray, and be sober. Also, we got to stay focused. Keep our eyes on the prize, which in fact is the kingdom of heaven that dwells in righteousness. And also the great and glorious return of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. It is fast approach. So we knowing that war is in the air everywhere that we look. War drums are beating. We have blown the trumpet. One thing about it is that, hey, man, we know that we're at the end of this thing. We are rejoicing. Hey, but one thing about it, we got to keep pushing, keep believing, keep the faith. And one thing about it, put your total trust in your true power, which in fact is Yahweh by Hashem, Yahushua. So the title of the day lesson, once again, is World War III update. So I like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahushua by Hashem, Rekakadash. I like to say, Shalom, Shalom.